Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fazila, you're tuning into Fazila Reads. Today's episode is going to be a dedicated book review of The Trials of Ashmount by John Palladino. Thank you so much to John Palladino and Escapist Booktube for my review copy of this book. So The Trials of Ashmount by John Palladino is a grimdark self-published fantasy set in the sprawling world of Cedain. It is the first book in the tragedy of Cedain, and as the title of the series suggests, it does have quite a bit of tragedy and grimness in it. From the beginning to the end of the book, it doesn't disappoint with the tone or the darker events. Even though this is a debut from the author, John has definitely made his mark in the genre. As a writer, you should be on the lookout for. And I really hope more people pick this book up. Enjoy the vastness of Cedain and how massive in scope the world was. Cedain is spread across 3 continents with 5 major countries serving as kingdoms with its own lush geographical setting, races, cultures, traditions, and beliefs. In the south of Cedain, we have Calvrim, Bessia, and Remeria. Calvrim and Remeria are the richest countries with forests, grassy plains, and thick jungles. Bessia is a desert. On the east, we have Koth with mountains and rocky shores. It is the poorest nation in the kingdom. Then to the north, we have Cyrock with big mountains and snow all year round. The diversity of the people and the world overall made it very interesting to explore all the characters and their POVs. Speaking of characters and POVs, there are 5 main POVs we get throughout the story with a few additional character POVs that makes the whole story rather well rounded. We have Edelbrock Brindis from Calvrim, a dishonest and self-serving nobleman who is looking to increase his wealth and status by not so noble means. And he's cunning, his lust for money and status has led him down a path of lies and treachery. He doesn't expect his life to take a turn for the worse, so when someone close to him backstabs him, he's completely shocked. I really enjoyed his character arc and the growth we get to see. Bilik of the Splintered Mane is the other POV that we get, and he's from Bessia and he's a nomad and a warrior. He's also part of the Camel clan tribes. So he and his camel Dunecrest are the interesting duo who goes on these travels and also sometimes fights against the rival clans. In the midst of a battle with the rival clan, his clan members gets a surprise, and this leaves them with rather powerful and unexpected guest. Despite being a ruthless warrior, he is rather shy and introverted, and we see him struggle with his guest presence and also comes to terms with his new reality. He also have a hard time talking to people of his clan and always seems to be up in his head for the most part of the book, fixated on his thoughts rather than being present in the situations. Then we have Demrislan, who's a rogue Magikai who's fixated on revenge against an old acquaintance. He's not one to shy away from violence or revenge, and he doesn't want to set aside his plans or stray from the vengeance. He goes about it rather ruthlessly, and he has a trusted companion who is known by the name Caius, who follows him on all of these expeditions. They were the dynamic duo that I really enjoyed, and they were hella entertaining. His background information that gets slowly revealed tells us actually why he's a raging monster that he is. Then we have the next character, which is Keldon Stool, who comes from a small village called Warwin in Koth. Despite his humble background, Keldon believes he has a bigger role to play and that he is destined for greatness. He also has issues processing emotions and expressing them, which made him seem like somebody who was on the spectrum for most of the time. He's also a tool and a selfish guy, was always looking for turning any situation to his advantage. And the final character is Cedain Bintlock, and she's a young woman from Girloft, a small peninsula in Cyrock. She lives with her family, takes care of Gir falcons, who are a variety of falcons. She lives a pretty peaceful and normal life until some events that force her to live a completely different life. So tragedy strikes Cyrock and leaves all of these citizens in difficulty. Cedain will have to step up and take charge, changes all of our plans. Now we have other additional POVs from the side characters that gives us the overall picture and a bird's eye view of what was happening in the story. So the Dukes and the Duchess POVs were truly the most entertaining POVs I've read. They were petty, power hungry, scheming, and backstabbing lot. Gotta say, it was most fun that I had during this book. The world and the magic system is truly wonderful. I really enjoy the setup of both. There are 2 types of magic in Cedain. One is the presence of trace in the people, which when triggered can lead to people practicing any of the 5 branches of magic. So the 5 branches are Examiner, the one who examines the type of trace one has; the Enforcers, who use soul glyphs that are inked on their body to draw on energy so that they can use it in combat; Glyphists will inscribe the Enforcers with soul glyphs using soul pens; and Collectors harvest the magic and collect these magic into vials so that they can use it later on; and Healers use their life force to heal others, thereby reducing their lifespan. So the ones who use and practice magic in Cedain are called the Magi, and people from all over the kingdom of Cedain travel to city of Yodev, which is next to the infamous Ashmount volcano, and here is where the University of Ashmount is located. So anyone who wants to be a Magi undergoes training here after the rigorous selection process. Now the selection process was pretty ruthless and a lot of waste in terms of resources also. I really enjoyed selection process and it was great to see it in action. I also enjoyed the tone that this set up for the plot thread to continue. The other magic users are the imbuers, and this is exclusive to the camel clans of Vessia and can use a magic and manipulate power in a number of cool ways, especially in the battle scenes. The plot and the pacing was well done. I really liked how everything was coming together towards the end, and you need to have a bit of patience to actually enjoy it. The story is about the individual journeys these characters make, and though eventually their stories do show signs of intersecting in this book, it's all about establishing the world and politics and the characters. The grimness and the harshness of the world sets a right tone in establishing a very solid foundation for the upcoming books. There were a couple of scenes that shocked me with the ruthlessness of it. Not at all an easy read in that sense, and definitely grimdark. There was this one particular scene in the book that is probably going to shock quite a few people. It's not going to probably shock, it's definitely going to shock a lot of people and will be difficult to read. I remember the mention of this character, and I knew in my heart something terrible was going to happen, and I was praying and hoping that the unthinkable would not happen, but it definitely did. I had to stop and take a breather after reading that. So, yes, do read the content warnings before you read the book. I really have to say that John doesn't stretch the scene out, and I was truly grateful for that. There are also a couple of other scenes that were completely shocking because of, again, the ruthlessness of certain characters, but that is to be expected when you are reading a grimdark fantasy. Overall, this is a promising debut with an easy to understand writing style and diverse cast of compelling characters. A very engaging story all in all, and I gave the book 4.5 stars. Highly recommend checking this out. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye. So, forgot to mention one thing. I did an interview with the author. It will be live on my website. Definitely go check it out. I will leave the link in the description box below. I leave the link in. I leave it